finish line down. Oh, it's not just the speed that's a problem. Oh, he's gone. He's going fast. Now he's going fast. Oh!
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Speed Without Engine, the place where fast-paced action meets pure fun. Get ready for some sick designs, crazy crashes, and tons of laughs. Let's go. 16 out of 20, which is good marks for ZZ Top if you've ever seen them perform. Over the jump they go. All over the place. The crowd are loving it. Picking up speed all the time. Down they go to the tricky part of the... Oh, look at that! How spectacular was that? It looks as though they're both okay. Look at that. Almost into the crowd. You can see the people start to move away. Pushing at the back. Let's see what they can do in terms of making a mark on the competition. It's the first jump. Over safely. Picking up speed. Starting to maybe wobble slightly. Over the jump they go. Got to keep it together here. Oh, they've lost it, and they've gone out. They went. Spectacular crash. Wow, look at that. Really was a spectacular end to their run. Judges, aren't they? So off they go. Will this pram be any good on this circuit? We will do is go over the jump. So far, so good. They're barely rolling over there. It will get faster. That too. Over the jump for the second time. Oh, they've gone. Even at that speed, you can have a But look at this. It just had too much weight at the front. The wheels gave way into the barrier, over the handlebars. Oh, look at the fella in the back. And they crumple in a heap, and BABYCOPS can't make the finish. Which was, of course, the World Cup final in the summer as well. That's not the best push-off, is it? Don't lose your feet at that. There's problems. Through the last chicane. Over the ramp. Oh, the ramp! They did the kick and they couldn't do the ramp. Look at this! Boom! Oh, that's gotta hurt. On board, you can see the carnage. Down to the bottom, up there. What do you think? Anyway, off we go. Still there at this particular soapbox might be his biggest challenge, because that weight on the top's going to make it very awkward. He's okay up to now. Red Bull alert, still going strong, landed on the back wheel. I thought he might come a cropper there, but he's managed to keep it going. Here he comes then, can he go? Oh, he's knocked the finish line down!
Yes! That was incredible!
Believe what they've seen. Look at this, over the finish line, and the Shark's teeth straight through the Red Bull side. And we will see whether they can be as spectacular as they were as the COFFIN Dodgers. So TUTENSKA on the way down. And it's a slightly different design with those wheels leading to some speed at the top of the course. Over steelworks, landing okay, but just starting to... And they're getting slightly bad here, are they? Oh, look at that! Well, it all went wrong over a few bones, didn't it? Look at that, the front wheels start to wobble. Down it goes on the front right, they can't hold it. And they slide down. Everybody's okay, but it's not the finish that TUTENSKA were looking for. One of the most spectacular... With two chicanes, and it's a big test. Oh, and look at this. It splits in two. So there's the big reveal. Now, can they keep it together? Oh, no, they can't. Look at him in the back. It was Aaron at the back who lost it first, and he took Matt with him. All of a sudden, the balance had gone. Watch this. There you see the back go, and it drags the front with it. The minute you lose the back, you can't keep the front. Boxes over the ramp. Oh, he's gone again. That one's still going almost. Well, far down the circuit. It was all over by this point anyway. Very, very spectacular. How many times have we said that today? Look at that. Wow. The spectators holding their breath. Oh, and already lifting up, and this might be a problem. That's not supposed to do that this early in the piece. Now then, oh, there's too much weight at the back, it's clear. Just that one wheel at the front, they can't water under a... Oh, under a semblance of control briefly. Kicker makes them pay. Look at that. Nearly flipped it all together, and the minute the wheels come down, they can't take the weight, they buckle underneath it, and Sweetwater's run comes to an end. Wow. Very, very... Even this early in the competition, not too many are going to get down this steep hill in one piece. Off out from the back, he's enjoying it already. Oh, there goes his hat. That's the first problem. Fast he's flying down here, but can he go? No, he can't. Look at that. The berm is okay. He's trying so hard to pull the brake on, but it didn't do any good at all. And look at that for a... Childhood friends who reunited for the soapbox race. There we are, bringing people together. Oh, here's the bone shaker. Seems to be slightly imbalanced, doesn't it? Leaning to one side already. There's the berm.
Very quick through there. Oh, he's gone. Look at that. Watch this. Wow. That's as spectacular a crash as we've seen all day. The pilot under the black helmet. And we're hoping that this one fares better than the one we saw. Very long, very steep, very fast, very difficult to control. And backwards into the bale. Here we see it again. That's the first spin, backwards into the bales. But around the berm. Ooh, crikey. There's a cameraman just... We'll see it here. Over we go. Ooh. That's the shot. Look how close it was. Sweeping, etc. So down the start round, we can do here. Round this berm. Oh, he's gone too high and he's rolled it. Well, the idea is to get as high, as much speed as you can, but when you go into the berm that high, with that little initial speed, you fall out the side and the soapbox rolls down with you. Look at this. Up he goes, and there's nothing he can do. And he was lucky that the soapbox went over the top of him. This latest instalment of the Red Bull Soapbox Race. Very, very steady down the ramp. Big impact. Just enough speed to get around the berm, but only just. He looks quite nervous, doesn't he, the driver? Got kicker. Over there just about. Speed's a real problem here. Oh, it's not just the speed that's a problem. Oh, he's gone. Of that type that we've ever seen. And it's because he's got no speed. How on earth is he supposed to get the soapbox over a double ramp at walking pace? He knows, look. Got to give him 10 out of 10 for artistic improvement. They've been with the soapbox as well, so off goes dead high if you can, then you get the slingshot. But as you can see, a little bit cautious at the top of the course. More bravery than this. On the way down there, oh, oh there he goes. And then head first. Oh, what does the cobblestones taste like, I wonder? There's a man who can tell you. First kicker. That was the equivalent of a belly flop. We'll see what happens here. There we go. Looks nice. Oh, didn't do very well, and he's come out hard there. Front end catches the turn, and watch out. He gets catapulted out of the car. That's not his head. Bales came in handy. And the ball, look at the... Oh, dear. Centre of gravity, and two nervous fellas behind the wheel as off they go, and they've lost the piece already. Twisty turn, look at the skin at the back. Oh, they're absolutely flying down the course here in Cincinnati. Anchor wheels down the course. Look at the concentration on the face of the pilot. Aaron's the driver. Here we go over the steps. Speed into the kicker. Sit down, hold on, get ready for this one. Here it comes down towards the... Oh, you can see it. Here comes the anchor man. Oh, over they go! Look at that! A disaster, exactly what we got. Look at the onboard, here we go. Oh, you can't hold it there. That is spectacular in Cincinnati. Here today in Lisbon, as opposed to putting one out, which they so often do. But they've gone for the small wheels and the tall vehicle. Time he starts to open it up a little bit, it starts to wobble. Here's the first one. The Marquis steps. Oh, he's got nose over. He went nose first. There was no stopping. Watch this here. He's nearly gone there. Now he's thinking, oh, 41 for creativity, 38 for the performance. He looks a bit precariously perched on there, doesn't he? And then he's got to go left. Oh, he can't. He can't. Just felt the fact that he was going a little bit quick into there. Chantal, Belinda and Jamie. They got the perfect view of that. For this one today, nice and wide. May well lead to it being semi-generate right at the top here before you get to the berm, and round they go. Oh, they've lost it straight away. It's the fact you've got to change direction so dramatically and so quickly. Here we go. Getting the weight at the right part. Look, now he's going fast. Now he's going fast. Oh! Well, watch this. He's okay here. Then he high-sides it there. Bang, no way back. And I wouldn't want to swap places with the pilot, Alex. Even getting down the ramp there is going to be... Most of it's big, but the wheels and the axles are small. How he's balancing this, I've got no idea. Oh, he's in the straw. He's gone. Look at that. Roller. Now he's got to rip most of it off to try and get going again. Alex is undeterred. Trying to get some speed up again. Oh, he's gone again, look at that! Nosedive! That's why he was trying to bounce it, because he realised he wouldn't get over the other side. Come on, Alex. Alex has won the Bravery Award. If we gave that creativity score, this looks great. The eyes are the helmets of the pilot, and the co is the pilot. Here's the berm. Made in Finland is ground to a halt. Oh, boom! What do you say? Going. Go. Did she get on the podium for those? Look at that. Here's this team, and they're sponsored by a meat factory. The pilot, you will notice, and the front wheel's gone already. You can flip it, and that's exactly what he did. Mika's okay, needs a bit of help. Here's the kicker. Oh, to add a bit more damage. Now the chicane. So much time by flipping it after the car wash. Here's the car wash through the foam, he's fine. It's only a short run. No, he's gone! Wow! I don't think it helps when you've got foam on your goggles and you come around there and you can't see the bail, and when you've got... Strike the right note on the way down. Will it be a record? Not really balanced, is it, this one? Okay, there's the kick. Oh, over you go. Forward roll. Wow. Watch this. One wheel at the front, nosedive, too much weight at the back, over you go. To be fair, you get 9.9 if you were going to do that. There's the first top. It does tend to lean, look from side to side. You don't want to go too far, otherwise you might be off. Oh, no, wobbling, it's going, it's going, it's going, it's gone! Oh, look at that! Oh, my word! So spectacular! That's one of the most spectacular. Everybody's okay, which is the first thing to tell you. Wrestling with it, trying to... Creativity, 35 for performance. Now it's about the speed. The two-tier... Oh, they've gone already! Oh, that's spectacular again. This is the issue, look. Too much speed, not enough agility, and they just couldn't hold it. All the weight was going towards the left as they look at it. Wider at the front, narrow at the back too, if you can see. For the pilot. A lot of speed, though, I'll give you that. Samurai Gate. Oh, he's gone! Samurai Gate! Oh, nosedive! The first team that's had a problem through there, it's very uneven. The planks make it difficult. The uneven nature of it makes it difficult. And if you've got the wrong line through there... Spectacular nature of today. Don't like the wheels, I've got to say that. This one, handlebars, 3 wheels, difficult course, can't control it, look. This is where it should start to get interesting. Samurai Gate. How do they handle the seesaw? Very easily, actually. Choice of kickers. That's the one. Oh, they've never got there. Look at that. Oh, he took his eye off the ball and got too near the straw bales and lost it. Will Cinderella go to the ball? Will Cinderella come a cropper at the berm? We will see. Gate. Gate, it's the seesaw, and then you pick your kicker. Up, 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 gotta come down, but don't go down that way. Don't go down that way. It's okay to go up, but you've got to come down, and that's not the way to come down. Everybody... Off and running. Wobbly the wheels over the first kicker to the dreaded berm. Up and high, down low. Oh, he's gone over. How many times have we dragged out of there? It's the wrong line. When you get too low at the beginning, you've got to go high at the end. What's the time of your run? 2-tier start ramp. Narrow. This is where it all starts to get interesting now. Samurai Gate. Oh, they've lost the line, got it. Over the seesaw. I think they've lost all semblance of control now. The brakes aren't being used, they've forgotten about them. Over the kicker, here's the berm. They're wide, they're narrow, they're up, they're over. Oh my word. Concern on the face of the other teammates. Finish line inside. How you know when to do which, I don't know. Off we go. Looks sturdy enough. Look, two people have got to do different things. And it's Samurai Gate. Seesaw coming up. Here's the seesaw, up and down, no problem. Pick the second kicker through the leaves. Here's the finish. No, they're nearly there. Oh, they're not nearly there. They've gone straight over. And Dad's come out the back. Can't go straight on over the berm. Look at that. Watch Dad. Watch Dad. Here he comes. He's hanging on. Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that. No messing about. Let's get to this. They've lost one fella on the ramp. Look at the size of these wheels. They shouldn't be seen. Being very Samurai Gate. Squeeze of the brakes. Wants to go. Wants to... There's his kicker. Right then, here's the berm. Here's the berm. Here's... Oh, look at that! Oh, there's the berm! Oh, my word! There are tyres, safety tyres behind there. But look, yes, he can. 106.12. The berm is supposed to be a corner. It's in saying that no team up to now has got through that section without at least tasting the straw once. 220 kilometres west of where we are today at Spa. And the bone rattler posing no problem. Quite clearly using the brakes as well. Don't get overconfident, otherwise that can happen. Very gingerly took the first two turns, and then you start to think if you're the pilot. Very narrow. Alvaro can hardly fit in it. He's got the bike wheel at the front of the handlebar steering, enough said. Whale tail on the agenda. Holds on tighter to those handlebars. Oh, now he's off. This is do or die. And when that front wheel hit the middle of the whale tail, he got nowhere left to go. There's your problem. Little wheel at the front is of any use at all. So off goes Jorge. Jaime, Alonso, Nacho and Pepe, the rest of the team. Coming down towards the water. Oh, he's out! He's out! He was so fast into there. Look at the speed, and when you hit that little kicker at the end. Oh dear, look at that. So they've talked the talk, now can they walk the walk? They say they're going to win it, San Benito Racing. They have lofty expectations, and they've got the eyes. Here's the whale tail. Oh, the front wheel! Oh, look at that, the front wheel when they both came out. Loads of speed. There's the take. Oh, it's gone on take off the wheel. And then, of course, the axle digs into the ramp. And over they went. That was like putting the brakes on. So off we go. One wheel at the front, two at the back. Difficult course. Recipe for disaster, in my opinion, but I'm only guessing. I would have said to these at the top, you are in. Charging down as well. There's a lot of speed. Lot of speed. Through the wall. Oh, he's gone. Oh, believe it, look at this. The single wheel at the front, can't handle it. Oh, look at the pilot there. Oh, there you go, look at that. Look at the Christmas hat halfway down the course. A day where you're scored on creativity, the performance at the top of the start ramp, and then, of course, the time it takes you to get from the top to the bottom. Through the water there, that was spectacular. He loved that, Victor. Look at his little face. Down we go. Moving towards the whale tail. Over the whale. Oh, look at that. Whoa. Look at this. Height. Bang. Look at that. Straight into the front of the whale tail, and he's out. Spectacular. There's the onboard. Oh, when you hit the front like that, you can't do anything about it.